for enhanced learning with a focus on using digital tools in classrooms, personalized learning through AI, and successful EdTech implementations. For this, let me call upon stage our panelists. Our first panelist, ladies and gentlemen, is Professor Jaskiran Arora, Dean Education Quality at BML Munjal University. So let's welcome Professor Jaskiran Arora, everyone. Our second panelist for this panel is Dr. Rekha Gupta, Head, PJP Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management.
Hello.
Our third panelist is Professor P. Srinivasan, Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Associate Dean of Work Integrated Learning Programs Division at Birla Institute of Technology and Science. Last and fourth panelist is Professor Rajeev Tiwari, Professor in School of Computer Science and Engineering at IILM University. So let's have a huge round of applause, everyone, for all our panelists. This panel will provide valuable insights into how EdTech is transforming the learning landscape. Let's welcome our panelists.
So very good morning, one and all. So as we all know, AI, education, technology, disruption, all at one place with this title, leveraging EduTech for enhanced learning. Hands-on session on using digital tools in classrooms, personalized learning through AI, and successful EdTech implementations. So tools are set here, and what could be the best? We have a diverse panel here, as being introduced by the presenter here itself. So all variety of presenters are with us, experts are with us, and I am taking that privilege to moderate that session along with my own opinions onto the various outlines of the topic. So just for keeping a note on that side, overall outline we would be following would be starting from digital tools in classrooms, then we'll discuss and deliberate onto the personalized learning through AI, and then we'll see certain use cases also through EdTech, how that shaping up of education has happened. So very much excited. I think so you are also on the same track with me. So let's take it further. Digital tools in classroom learning. We know that it was a time when we were saying ICT to be used in the classroom for enhanced learning of the students. From that point, AI and then some AI-based solutions. All these journey we would be discussing. So first thing we would be taking it further from this side would be how have digital tools transformed the traditional classroom environment, and what are some of the most impactful tools we have observed. So with the seniority wise, as per the age, I would like sir to start with that point.
Yeah. So we offer work integrated learning programs in which about 1,20,000 graduates have already got the degrees, and as of now about 45,000 students have been registering in this program. So the quality of education offering is very important because this entire lot of people are dispersed over the entire globe. So pre-COVID itself, we have introduced the concept of remote lab. I will take some of the examples how the education technology has been used to have an enriching learning experience. So the previous panel, they talked about the flexibility of the students to learn on their own pace. So here is an example where a student is expected to go to a classroom and then do an experiment in the laboratories at the stipulated timetable. Here, we do have an experimental setup which is located in a faraway place. We call it as a remote lab. And the Edu technology which I have talked about is an IoT-enabled lab experiment, where a student can access the facility of the lab wherever he is all over the globe 24/7, and then he will be able to do an experiment from remote. So this particular facility which we have not only help the students of work integrated learning programs, but also the on-campus students, because during COVID, when the entire education institutions have been shut down and then nobody was allowed to be available on campus, for about 2 years the academic process was completely disrupted. But this particular technological disruption has helped to conduct the lab experiments using IoT technology, so that it was possible for the students to do the education learning or the enhanced learning even at their own pace. I may request Mr. Vivek to play one of the videos which will just run for about a minute or so. First video, please.
Welcome to the remote lab of fluid mechanics and machines, where you can perform controlled experiments from anywhere in the world. Thanks to the IoT-enabled lab equipment and the integrated remote access network. The lab has 5 equipment setups: the heat transfer tester, radial compressor, axial fan, piston pump, and Pelton turbine, with which you can perform over 50 experiments. The lab is open 24/7, 365 days a year. Students required to perform experiments as part of their coursework can select their suitable time, schedule the session, and perform the experiments by accessing the equipment remotely. Students can control the machines using the equipment console while watching them through multiple cameras installed around the lab. They can pan, tilt, or zoom to have a better view of the machines. Detailed step-by-step instructions allow the students to perform the experiments. On completion of the experiments, they can download the results, analyze and submit the report in the learning management system for evaluation. Fluid Mechanics and Machines Remote Lab is another effort by the Work Integrated Learning Programs Division of BITS Tiwari to bring the campus learning experience to working professionals, complementing their work-life learning balance.
The advantage of this lab facility is the students can access this facility as per his convenience, do an experiment, and nobody is required to be available near the experimental setup. And then they will be able to submit the report, all the instructions to how to conduct the lab and then take the results, everything is done. And they will be submitting the report to the faculty and then they will be getting evaluated. So this particular facility helps in reaching out to the students to make them learn at their own pace, and also available 24/7. So I'll come back to you again with other ways of having an enriched learning experience using education technology.
Wow, sir. What a perfect example we have seen this side. It's not only time, like in the only allowed time window you can access the tools. Through these virtual labs and IoT enablement, these tools, these lab setups are being evolved for your usages beyond your working time. So that all we have taken from this video itself. So let's take the conversation on to the next levels now. So as we have seen, technology enablement, undoubtedly it's going to enable the scale, it can cater to the scales, beyond the time limits also. But that puts distraction as well, because now they are not in the focus zone. So they would be doing stuff directly at their own place, and they can visit the rightful content also and some other distraction places also. So next question is around this side. How can educators balance between screen time and meaningful offline activities while integrating EdTech in classrooms? So, Professor Rekha, if you would like to comment on this.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Rekha Gupta, and I am from Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. We deal specifically only in higher education. And I'm going to discuss a particular case, which was implemented in our institution during the COVID times. So COVID, came all of a sudden, and most of us in teaching industry, the IT department teachers and the labs were given this particular task of implementing the online teaching setups, training the faculty. That was also very important. Apart from, the added responsibility of having an immersive experience with the students. That was the challenge, as Sir said. You didn't want your students to be just looking or being physically present, but not there actually on screens. So, and also, the other aspect which we thought we could leverage at this time was, can we use technology for personalized learning experience? We all know, generative AI and artificial intelligence gives you a lot of opportunities if you want to harvest those opportunities. Starting from personalized teaching experience, inclusivity, all-time availability, and data analytics for each student. So we thought at our place, let's do this. So what we did is, when we went on for ebooks program, we also created a lot of personalized stuff for students on Moodle. As you must be aware, Moodle is an open source platform which generally educating institutes customize for keeping the course book. Everything is available. The teacher can upload the course materials, assessments, feedbacks. The grade books are maintained. Okay, so what we did was, to have that personalized experience, to give time, space, and opportunity of learning at self-paced. We created an experimental schedule. So we conducted 2 types of quizzes. One was where, the personalized pace was not there. It was in the traditional mode. Every student had to answer 10 questions based on a particular online session in a stipulated time, as we do in physical classes. The other which we created was, we gave them a window, and the software at the back end, also monitored how much time the students spent on particular topics. We had initial quizzes lined up with those topics to assess, and we did not administer all the questions at all the times. Depending on their interest, we, administered those 10 questions at different paces. Only the difficulty level was increased once they were able to, clear the previous steps. And the entire thing was documented. The support was given in terms of additional videos, the chats from the AI chatbot, if it was required by the student. Also having a personal engagement. It was not only about the course. It was also, how do you feel today, Are you stressed? It depended on what kind of paper, because in management education, what we have is courses from finance, marketing, IT, all sorts of competencies are there. So depending on which quiz he was taking, what kind of mental level was required, the software also tried, to access that level and accordingly present his, mental state quiz to that. And of course, we also documented the performance. And in nutshell, if I just want to share, we saw, the top performance was okay. There was not much change, but when you look at the, the slow learners or those who wanted a lot of support, there was an increase in assessment performance by 25%. Of course, you need to complement, as I agree with previous panel speaker, the physical connect, the emotional part, faculty connecting with the students is very, very essential part. So we still retain that system. It keeps on parallelly now with our physical classroom, and it has been a great success. Other EdTech implementations, of course, we model a business situation using simulations. So we have simulations, workshops, which we conduct area-wise. You conduct a market situation, you create a product launch, you create an advertisement, you try to, market the digital footprints and so on. So huge potential, and sir, I would just say on parting notes, it's us, how we are going to leverage the technology. It should complement our process, and that's how we will leverage it. Thank you.
Wonderful to know that part. As we know, and from the academics point of view itself, we all are habitual of using LMS systems. As Madam has given a very useful use case, where it is personalizing up to some levels as per the competency of the students. Same way at IILM also, we have adopted that LMS system, personalized learning for the students on different competency levels and onto the different, you can say, their own competence based on the evaluation that is being done on the LMS system. But here we have to understand, when we run with the, I am from that field itself, I am Dean School of Computer Sciences at IILM University, so I tackle all these kind of nuances on daily basis. So when we talk about any concrete software like LMS, Moodle, Blackboard, or any of that stuff from all the available spectrum, then that is hard-coded itself. That can facilitate us with certain fixed kind of options that it carries. But nowadays, as Dr. Rekha also mentioned, that personalized learning, making an emotional connect with the understanding level of the student itself, that matters most to us. Through that software, it still lies at certain lower levels because that is very concrete at that point, and very significant role becomes towards from the faculty side. How he is able to connect 60 students, maybe who all are of different variety of competence they are carrying, how they can connect to different 60 people altogether. So that gives that creates a gap in the mind of technology itself. Like there is something plugin has to be there. So that has driven us to the next point over itself. Here itself for us, like how we can do that personalized learning, which can reach out to the scales now. Undoubtedly, as a human being, I have a limitation. At one time, I can speak to certain set of people. I can't do justice to the personalization to everybody because of my own physical and mental capabilities. We need to take leverage of technology here. That demands right now. So we are moving ahead onto this side, how we can leverage technology to give that personalized learning to our students. Now, undoubtedly, it is going to happen with AI. And that's why AI has got the market. So next outline we are reaching towards, personalized learning through AI. So we have seen that AI is doing multiple stuff for us, but in education side, how it is doing, what it can do. So let's hear it from the expert side. And I would like to invite Professor Jaskiran here to put her points on this point. How is AI enabling personalized learning paths for students? And what impact does this has on student outcomes? So how AI is impacting the student learning side and what outcome we are expecting out of it. I think so this is the hottest topic right now in the academic side, we are having in front of us. Please.
Thank you so much, Professor. A quick dipstick into this room. If you're listening to me, and if you are a student, just show us the hands. How many students in the room? Okay, about 10. Okay, we're always be a student, but I mean student, right? So we have about 8 of us. How many of us are educators in this room? All right, so about 20 of us. How many of us are EdTech supporters in this room? Right, awesome, great. Now, since the common thread between all these three is studying, right? So books have been an integral part of us. Technology now is becoming an integral part of us. I'm sure to the teachers in this room, we remember those crazy nights, next day having 4 lectures, preparing lectures, slides, and then trying to think, okay, how do I put my point across? What's the kind of picture that I use, so on and so forth, right? So lecture preparation to make it relevant was always something that we worked on. The second piece was, how do I deliver it in the class? How do I make my classes very engagement? How do I have my students listen to me? The third piece was, how do I know that learning is happening? And to everyone in this room, at least I have seen that earlier I used to get the email from my students, a 2-liner email with probably not so accurate English, and now I get about 2 pages, as in 2 or 3 paragraphs long, and I have to read the entire thing to figure out what is that they want to say. And then, if I'm to assess those kind of submissions which are coming out of the chat GPT to see, okay, how do I know whether the learning is happening? That's kind of the third challenge. So lecture preparation, delivery, assessment, and most of all, which unfortunately I think in the Indian educational system, we have not been able to do is, how do I give a feedback? I give a score, I give a mark, but then how do I give a feedback? And why that is so important, once again, to everyone in this room, may I just request you, 1 minute, look around in the room and have 3 most important to you observations about the room. Just look around this room, 3 things that you notice about the room. Okay, I assume we have some. Okay, right. So how many of us, we looked at how many people sitting in this room? Just a show of hands. How many of us looked at the number of people in the room? Okay, great, thank you. How many of us noticed the number of tables in the room? Few of us. How many of us noticed the color of the tablecloth? How many of us looked at the lighting in the room? Oh, it was too dim or too light. Thank you so much. How many of us felt that the AC temperature has just gone off in some time? How many of us noticed the color that was most prominent? A couple of us wearing yellow color stands out. How many of us noticed the color of the clothes? The point that I'm trying to make here, guys, is that we all look at very different things. As a teacher, when I'm going to the class, I am saying something from my perspective, but my students are looking at this from their perspective. There is somebody who loves music, so might be thinking, oh, Jaskiran ma'am ki aaj awaaz theek nahi aa rahi hai. Right? Or somebody might be thinking, oh, this lecture is just so boring, this monotony. No case studies, there are no pictures on the slides today. Will depend upon what my students notice. And that is where I'm so excited about AI. You remember, I mean, none of us might be there in the Gurukul days. One teacher and had the prospective kings and princes from different estates. Somebody is studying horse riding, somebody studying strategy, everyone in the one class. And then we went about segregating these clusters into class 1 maths and class 2 maths and class 10th maths. And the age group is same and everybody is proceeding to one level after the other. Thankfully, what AI has enabled is a possibility of coming the full circle. Hopefully now when a professor goes to the class, goes with a class prep that has lessons built in a way that a class 1, class 2, class 10th, advanced level, fundamental, it is a very customized experience. The present, I'm sure everybody knows of so many tools here, right from the gammas of the world to the kind of way you can give feedback, creating chatbots so that your students can ask unlimited questions and come prepared, and the feedback that's inbuilt, that customization is something. So technology was one piece, had come and probably now immersed in our lives. But it is this personalization. So if you like to observe lights, you look at those. If you like colors, you look at those. So it is what we like, we get, is what AI enables.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Good to hear that. So from this narration itself, Madam has touched upon the stakeholders of both the sides, students, faculties, students enhance learning through their personalization through AI, having exploration towards more questions. Similarly, faculty side, having more knowledge through these kind of customized softwares to make their own preparations towards sessions. All that has happened in that conversation. Let's take it further to the next part, which we discussed. Okay, that is fine. Scale. If I ask you people directly, you have to write down 5 points for yourself. I am hopeful for yourself at least you will be writing very fairly, and you will be writing it down. Next moment I will say write down 10 points. You will add 5 more. 5 more, please. 15. Can we have 30 points now? Now hardly 10% of the zeal would be there, even for yourself. That is a task with the faculty to do 60, 60, 120 into maybe 5 to 10 evaluation patterns throughout the semester. When we are not able to do it for ourselves, any enthusiastic faculty will also lose some momentum doing that evaluation in the classroom very fairly. And I will connect that point when Dr. Rekha said, we do it very quantitative wise, 4, 5, we don't describe it. To do that justice, we need certain kind of personalization, and the scalability issue should be solved. That is being done by AI tools directly. So let's discuss it further, how it happens. So AI, Dr. Rekha, will come back to you.
Yes, sir.
AI personalization, how we can do that, and how it happens, and how we can leverage that AI to do that customization to our stakeholders. Your point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. What I gave the example was for my institution. If you talk of large scales, the inclusion of the concept of internationalization in the softwares, in languages, has accelerated the inclusion, part. We have Government of India actively participating in this program where, the courses are on through Bharat GPT, maybe not that popular as Chat GPT, but, the effort is from the government side to have courses customized in your language. We have the Bhashini portal, where you can design your websites, you can borrow the plugin for various languages, so that your website, your business, your course, your contribution is translated automatically into different languages, which would lead to a larger inclusion and, helping the technology, education to reach to masses. Fortunately for us, we already have the mobile revolution, and this ed revolution is going to sit on top of that, making, access from each nook corner of our country. And very soon, India will come out with a competitor, which is having competency parallel to ChatGPT. Bharat GPT is there, so you must encourage your students to look at internationalization, vernacular design of courses. Every institution, we take social responsibility as part of our curriculum. So we encourage our students to go and deliver technology courses, as part of their social sensitivity. They do immerse in rural immersion programs, where one of our aspect is to deliver 10-day technology education to villages in India. Of course, villages have transformed. We have mobile phones. We have mobile connectivity. So as teachers, we should encourage the inclusion. We should tell them about the usage of ChatGPT, so that, sir, the point of inclusion reaches to a mass scale. That's the input from my side.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this up. Bhashini, GPT, Bharat GPT, how they generally act. I am taking this conversation to the next levels now. How they generally act. They provide an interface to the users, they connect to it, they start learning from that GPTs directly. So what GPT does at our side, being a learner, maybe a university organization has got 5,000 students. Now I'm talking about a larger use case here. 5,000 students. They can log in onto the chat GPT, let it is being created for Python, which we know it's really into the business nowadays. They want to learn Python. And I'm sure that 5,000 students would be having different competencies. So we talked about personalization of AI. They would be learning through that GPT, and then GPT login profiling would be created for that user directly. So every user's profile would be created based on the activity they are doing onto the GPT direct ways, by their learning profiles. When I say by learning profile, I mean how they are reading it out. Whether they are spending some more time onto some section, that means they are customized. Now their GPT would be customizing for them. Like, okay, they are putting more time onto that section. That means we need to personalize this thing for this user specifically out of that 5,000. He has spent more time onto this section. Let's make a quiz out of it for this student to increase its learning, to increase his competency on that topic directly. Maybe this is not the case for the second one, not for the 4,999 student and 5,000 student. So all such kind of profilings are being made by these GPTs or by any of such AI-enabled learning tools, and accordingly, customization for learning has come, customization for the quiz making evaluation has come in that profiles, based on that profile, and then you can understand which was the question on fire in the last round was how to handle that scalable customization and scalable relationship with your learners, one-to-one basis. In this way, technology can do that with the leveraging of AI into that tool side. That's why we see that AI is doing that disruption into the education side as well, along with faculty. I doesn't mean to say here like it is going to do it by itself. Everywhere we need to put faculty as a authoritative person in the classroom, or to take control of that GPT itself, so that it can tune the things in the direction of learning of the student. Otherwise, distractions are also very much there. I hope that gives us the right sense how AI customization profiling is being done. Then on that profiling, evaluations are being created. On that evaluation, that is not now only quantitative, it's qualitative also, very descriptive ones. And it would be tuned towards the customization of the student learning directly. So leveraging AI, customization, personalized learning, that helps a lot to handle that scale. So very fastly, yeah. Okay. So got a red signal from this side. So we need to stop it in between. And as a very pertinent and significant stakeholders community side, this session is open for the questions. Any other question to any of the experts, we will take it further. Open house, please.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Suresh. to particular, I'm working in artificial intelligence and medical education. I'm working at Symbiosis International University, Pune. So as I'm a medical person, the implementation of AI especially in teaching of the medical students. So it is some way it is fine, but there should be like some assignments, otherwise to say research aspects. So as Sir mentioned, there should be a cross check. And as part of this, we have implemented an academic integrity committee to cross check. But the thing is, as we are all aware, current generation students are like, they just want easy things. So they are all using AI tools, advanced AI tools than is what we faculty know. So for that reason, we have set up one academic review committee at our institute level so that we can cross-check whether the student is using the 100% of the AI tools for the assignments of the research work. Otherwise, how it is going to be? So this challenge, apart from this, how it is going to be overcome?
So I would like to answer. We are also facing the similar, problem. You give any dissertation projects, you see the report. It is the normal plagiarism is reduced, but AI-generated plagiarism content is very, very high. So as as institutions, we need to come out with policies regarding, how much AI-generated content is to be allowed. Plus, we have come out with policies, what can be incorporated, what is, let's say, allowed from chat GPTs or this. So you can't stop that. So it is better as an academic council, you decide on what kind of support, like, higher institutions are already considering AI-generated tool support for doing literature reviews, for, let's say, correction of the vocabularies and grammar and certain assistance. So it's still a very open forum, as you said, students are already ahead of us. But you need to formulate guidelines, the Turnitin has already come out with AI assistance. It checks the chat GPT generated content. So the implementers, the policy makers and students will keep on advancing, We need to just catch up, we need to revisit our rules, It's not like you made the rules, they'll run for 10 years now. You'll have to maybe revisit your rules every 6 months.
Just to add on that answer itself for your case, topic itself is leveraging. That means there is certain mindfulness there. It's not totally depending on to the AI. First thing, in our conversation, you would have hit the words faculty authoritative in the classroom. That helps you. And you are undoubtedly dealing with the very sensitive medical records. So you can't hand it over directly to the AI. There you need to support it back. You need to recheck it. And as Dr. Rekha suggested, academic council or such kind of faculties can moderate that, whether it is directly given to AI or not. And for any of the healthcare records, we know that in the research as well, we can't depend directly onto the AI or technological side. It gives you leverage to use it to give certain directions. Rest part goes with your experience directly. Thank you.
So one last question. Can we limit the usage of AI tools for the enhancement of student performance? So that, see, what happens, using AI in a learning process, it will kill the, talent or whatever, creativity of the students. So what is your say?
If I'm, yeah. As a teacher, what is that I want to assess, right? That becomes very important. If it is a English literature class and the student is using chat GPT to write something, that's not right. But if, let us say, if it's a psychology paper, there are some thoughts and the student is using and leveraging chat GPT or AI for that matter to document, to beautify the expression, what's the harm? Calculators, when they came, how many of us were like, oh my God, calculators. Come on, yaar, calculators in the maths class doesn't make sense. But then in a physics class, a chemistry class, using calculators just enhances your strength. So to my mind, it's not policies, but it is the creativity that is to make the usage of AI leverage and not just picking it up.
Yeah.
Point is making inquisitive students. Let them learn by questioning platform directly. Yes, some question was there, please.
You give an example of RSGPT, LLM training itself from the learning practices of the students. With respect to Python and all that. There's one point I will make, which is if it is learning from the learning habits of the students, so probably those students whose learning habits it's learning from, they will not gain, probably the future generations will gain or the future batches will gain. This is one. Second is you're talking about faculty intervention. You leave it to the LLM to learn it from the student practices and then accordingly change the serving of the courses or the sessions. How will the faculty intervene?
No,
You want to answer? Yes, please.
no, Bharat GPT example was given for large scale inclusion. It's just like, you put your courses as like I put on Swayam portal and students, they do the self-learning. When I gave the example of my institution, I told about a course where certain quiz, certain assessment aspect was self-paced according to the student. And that course and the quiz intervention was complemented. I would say the other way, the teaching part was complemented by the AI-assisted personalized learning, yeah. So the example of Bharat GPT was for vernacular languages, I put up a course and my course gets translated to larger part so that it is accessed throughout India or the world maybe.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
It's actually may take 2 minutes because I have prepared a lot to show a video how the augmented reality and virtual reality can help in making the students to learn. And he talked about the medical education. I just would like to say that we have created, since the topic is on use of education technology, as a faculty members, we always find it difficult to teach certain topics like human anatomy, or me being a professor of mechanical, nuclear power plant, how is it operating? It's very, very difficult to make the students to visualize. Where we could make use of the augmented reality and virtual reality. I have come prepared with 2 minutes of a video, and if it is permitted, then I will be playing it. Here. Vikas is there, he is not there. So can you please play? Sure. Yeah. So if it is possible, hello, okay. Vikas, can you please, just ma'am, 2 minutes, that video, please. Because we have spent a lot of time in preparing and coming, and then I don't want to get disappointed by not showing it. Just 2 minutes.
So till it runs, you can share your question, please.
Taken, not only based on only AI, students are left to do that, and students are not prepared, the teachers are not prepared, and you cannot, see the attitude and behavioral competence of the students, through AI. The human values, cannot be, unless the teacher-student face-to-face contact is there, you cannot, have changed the behavior of the students. And all the students are not alike. They are different. Everybody is different. So we have to have that in mind when you are giving the education, personalized learning through AI. And lot of students' data is collected. So students' privacy and students' safety has to be kept in mind by the teachers, So much of data leaks out, Students' data is leaking out. And we have to be very careful about that. Thank you.
Got your points, ma'am. We'll answer that and we'll discuss that in just after session, please. We'll come back to you.
Thank you for sparing 2 minutes. I hope that it was useful.
So thank you for sharing all the wisdom from all the experts, and thank you for the patient listening itself. Thanks. It was a wonderful session from my side itself. So it was for me. And one last declaration I would like to make. Whatsoever conversation I have done from my side, that all implementation we have done at our on campus, and you people are welcome to exhibit that at our side. Most welcome at that point. Thank you.
Good to hear that, sir. Thank you to all the panelists. Let's have a group picture. And thank you for the wonderful presentation, sir.